Georgia. Have me in an ocean. I want you. Feel my arms all in me, soldier. I'll never let you go again, like I did. Oh, I used to say I would never fall in love again until I found her. I said I would never fall unless it's you I fall into. For fuck's sakes. God, that cliff, oh, shut up. Oh God, there was no mixing to that. This is why I do covers and I don't do karaoke. I get very self-conscious. Let's get some good clips. Okay, here we go.
At VShojo, we believe our talents aren't just workers, they're family. And like family, we guilt them into shutting the fuck up. From the moment you walk through our doors, we're here for you. Listening, supporting, and going the extra mile to ensure that you can give us more money. At VShojo, we celebrate your victories, big and small, and stand by you for every challenge. Unless that challenge is being harassed for playing Harry Potter, then you're on your own. And when you do charity, don't worry. Your donations are secure with us. Secure to be given to the charity? Nah, we're keeping that shit. Fuck them kids, bruh. VShojo, where our talents have freedom. The freedom to get fucked over.
Hey, did you finish casting that new Harry Potter show? Yep, and check it out. We just finalized the new Severus Snape. Oh, so Snape's gonna be black now? Yes, he is. Do you have a problem with that? Well, yeah, a little bit, actually.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow, dude. Oh, no, not for that kind of reason. It's just... You know how this story goes, right? What do you mean? Well, when Harry first sees Snape, he immediately distrusts him and has a bad feeling about him. And then later he accuses him of stealing? I mean, is that not now gonna come off as, ooh, I didn't consider that. And is it not gonna be pretty weird in season 3 when the thing Neville fears most is a black man? Oh dear God. Harry's dad viciously bullied Snape when they were kids, and he said the reason was he didn't like that he existed. Is James now a massive racist? Maybe it won't be that bad. Didn't he hang him from a tree at one point? Ah, crap. Come to think of it, people are constantly mocking Snape for the way he looks and saying there's something off about him, and he keeps getting passed over for the job he wants, and it's really gonna hit different when he calls himself the half-blood. Okay, enough. Here's what we'll do. We'll just cut all of those scenes out of the show, alright? We'll just make it less like the books. But we told people the whole reason we were doing this was to include more from the books. Oh, come on, that was never the reason, and we all know it.
Oh, shit. Oh. Jimmy on a beat, boy. OJ.
Okay.
Boomer. Whatever you say.
Okay.
Boomer. Okay.
Okay.
Boomer.
Yeah, boomer.
Whatever
Okay.
you say. Boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Okay.
Okay.
Boomer.
Yeah, boomer.
Whatever you say. Boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Okay.
Okay,
Boomer. Whatever you say.
Okie dokie,
Boomer.
boomer.
BOOMER. Please, sir, Dusty moods on vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur. Hey. OJ.
Okay.
Boomer. Whatever you say.
Okay.
Boomer. Okay.
Okay.
Boomer. Whatever you say. Boomer. Okay. Whatever you say. Boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Okay. Boomer. Okie dokie, boomer. Hello, 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 everybody. How are you doing this fine, fabulous, once again, fantastic Tuesday? It's a Tuesday, chat. It is Tuesday, my dudes. Let's say hi to all of the people. Including McSkittles, Kane-sama Festiva, Nerdy Tixon Accountant, who has been a member with us, I think, for 11 months, almost a full year. Sparky's Tech Corner, Mr. Monkey, Aka-kun, Chain-sama, who I think I already said, but who fucking cares? I'm gonna say it again. Emleon, what's up? Evisaro's gone again so long, work been killing me. Yeah, no worries. People come and they go, and I have no problem. Boomer Eva, how dare you? How mods destroy them? I'm not. I couldn't even think of anything like clever to say, so I just went to destruction. I'm so sorry. We have 5 videos to be reacting to today, and we have until about 7:30 to be reacting to them. Because at 8 o'clock my time, we're going to be resuming with a couple more episodes of, I think we did 3. Which means, yeah, we're going to do 2 this week and then 3 next week. So, yeah, a couple more episodes of Invincible on Rumble tonight, guys. Baked Buddhist, thank you so much for the 2. Thank you, thank you. Now then, where am I? It's already Wednesday. It's not Wednesday, Amleon. You've lost a... Unless you live somewhere else, you've lost a day. It is a Tuesday in America right now. I'm possibly the only boomer here. You might be, but I know there's a couple older people who watch my stream, so... Are you actually a boomer? No, you're not actually a boomer, are you? I thought you were, like, in your 30s or 40s, which would make you more like a millennial, or possibly, later Gen Z. Am I the only one bothered by Festiva's comment? First letter lowercase and the rest is upper. What did they say? Oh, ha ha ha! Well, it was just caps locked. I'm 39. Okay, you're not... You are one of the you're either one of the... You're one of the earliest of the millennials, or you're one of the latest of Gen X, Sparkies. Baby boomers are, like, older than my dad. And you're not older than my dad. But yes, we do have a number of videos to be reacting to today, including the first one, which comes to us from Legal Mindset, who now has 422,000 subscribers. This was posted 3 days ago and is an update on the Lego case. We have another update regarding the Lego case. It's a quote-unquote offer that Bricks and Minifigs have offered the Mancels, but we're going to probably cover that on Elfpire Apps rather than Elfpire Reacts, because there's not really a whole lot of video to be reacting to in regards to that latest offer. I consider myself one, that's fair. You're only as old as you feel, and if you feel like a boomer, alright. Joke's on you, I'm redacted. All I know is that I'm too old for this and too tired to stop it. Yeah. But the title of this video is called Reckless Ben Flips the Board. RICO case has been moved to federal court. I believe those who remember me commenting on the Reckless Ben and Bricks and Minifigs situation, I have said multiple times that the best hope for Reckless Ben in regards to the suit that he is facing is if he is able to get what's known as a change in venue. And it sounds like his notice of removal actually went through and he was able to get this case moved to federal court and thus a much less biased court. Because I'm sorry to say, like, whether or not Ben needs to be held accountable to certain things, which I'm sure he should be, at least in some respects, I think that local court would have absolutely fucking destroyed him in a way that would not have been fair or congruent to the law whatsoever. So this is actually very good news for those who are interested in fairness. So let's go ahead and stop my background music and give this a start.
The Lego scandal is going federal. We're going to talk about it today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney.
Nice.
And I've been covering this Bricks and Minifigs scandal, the Lego scandal, really from the beginning. And we have a new massive turn here today as the case appears to be heading from state court to federal court.
Ain't federal
So first
court
of all,
more costly too? Yes, yes, it is technically more costly. However, there's a caveat to that, being that from what I understand, Reckless Ben has also actually obtained counsel in both his civil and his criminal cases, which means he's not being a fucking dummy, and he's got a lawyer now, which is probably why we haven't heard much from him, because his lawyers are telling him to shut the fuck up. Regardless, I am very proud of him for actually retaining counsel, not just in his civil cases, but his criminal cases as well. I think this was very much needed, and already we're seeing the fruits of your new legal team's labor, because I'm sure they're the ones who filed this notice of removal. Benji Alucard, how's it going? Eva Lego set win.
some background here. On June 26, Ben, that is Reckless Ben, and Victor Wynn filed a notice of removal in the U.S. District Court for Utah. That is the federal court. So essentially, that is the one that covers all of Utah. There's one district in Utah, so it's not like Florida where there's several districts, like a North and a South district. There's just one for Utah. So they filed it in that district and said, hey, we want to remove this to federal court. Now, BAM Bricks and Minifigs has 30 days to fight this motion. And while this is going on, there are also ongoing mediations. So the mediation is ongoing.
I believe Utah actually has required mediation when it comes to lawsuits like this. And I imagine Bricks and Minifigs and Ben are actively working through mediation and having discussions.
That discussion is ongoing, and that has been ongoing since the state court RICO case was filed by Bricks and Minifigs Corporate against Reckless Ben. So they're allowed to keep talking. They're allowed to keep going through the motions of trying to settle this.
Another big thing too, which we'll cover a little bit more on Elfpire Yaps, but his lawyers were also able to get the effective gag order on Reckless Ben removed. Reckless Ben is officially ungagged. He is able to post and comment and cover the aspects of this case. I do believe not Bricks and Minifigs, but state prosecutors have brought a much more narrow order in regards to what he can and cannot talk about. I don't know if that's gone through or not, but I do know that at least in regards to the arguably unconstitutional gag order that the judge ordered ex parte and made it very broad, that is now off the table. It's no longer being applied, which means that Reckless Ben, although he shouldn't, is capable of speaking on this case without risking the wrath of a court or a contempt hearing. That hasn't went through. Okay, I didn't know if it had or not. I didn't think it did.
Outside of court, and that's very, very important. But what's also important is this message. Recently,
Oh,
a jury ordered
cats,
Meta
Morgan
and
and
YouTube
Morgan.
to pay millions for their role.
You know what's so crazy to me? When I do traveling, I go, I'll stay in hotels. You usually funded and think, see you guys, chat. But when I go into these hotels, I'll tell you right now, one of the most common fucking commercials that I see when watching the television in hotel rooms is Morgan and Morgan commercials. And I was wondering when the law firm would actually like wise up and reach out to like law tubers and like influencers. And I'm very proud of Andrew for managing to secure a Morgan and Morgan
in designing and
sponsorship
promoting addictive
or
platform
affiliate or whatever
for the harm
it is,
they
but it's pretty
caused.
cool.
You can use the link in
That being said, I've heard this spiel 100 times, and we are going to be
my description,
skimming
or
it.
may be entitled to a potential. So this just came of over
Oh, here we go.
$1,000. All right, so let's get into this federal removal. So this just came down. Obviously, you see the in this post here, the lawyers for Ben Schneider, his company, and Victor Wynn have filed a notice of removal in the district court, saying here, generally this freezes all proceedings until the federal judge decides whether they will take jurisdiction or remand the case. So this is accurate. So essentially, they're going to need to decide what to do now with this removal. So now that they're saying, hey, we want to remove this to federal court, the judge now has to say, okay, is this permissible? Is this not permissible? Are we going to allow that? So what are some of the facts that lead us to this being something they can do? Well, if you look over here, Victor Wynn is a resident of California. Brian Mansell, who agreed to this and consented to this, which is very, very important here, is a resident of Oregon. So there's diversity of citizenship between the plaintiffs and defendants. Diversity means they're not from the same place. They're not all from Utah. This is
they're not all subject to the same courts or jurisdictions. And when this happens, and when you have multiple, diversity of residencies, like we got one guy in California, one guy in Oregon, and one guy in Utah. That's fucking crazy. And when this happens, what's going to end up, a reasonable thing to do is like, okay, we have to take it up to an authority that has the ability to rule across the jurisdictions. That would be, of course, federal court. I'm breaking it down as layman as I can, but obviously, if someone from Florida is going to sue somebody from Wisconsin, well, you might want to move that case to federal court because both parties are better represented on the federal level than they are their individual state levels.
A case where everybody is in Utah. They're all Utahians. Sorry, people from Utah. I probably said that wrong. But you see, that's the primary reason, and that's a very good reason to remove this to federal court. And there are several advantages that do come along with that. We'll read some other reasoning here. Plaintiff Baker Bricks, LLC, alleges in the complaint that it is a Utah corporation. A corporation shall be deemed to be a citizen of every state and foreign state by which it has been incorporated, and the state or foreign state which has principal place of business. Baker Bricks, LLC's principal place is Utah, and its certification of organization is filed in Utah. Plaintiffs allege that the verified complaint that Baker is a Utah limited liability company. Taking this as true, which we will assume that's true. I don't think they're going to fight that they're a Utah company. The actual plaintiff entity in this lawsuit is Baker, the Utah LLC, not the now dissolved Oregon entity whose trade name Baker is using. Salem Baker Bricks itself was administratively dissolved on January 15th before this lawsuit was filed. In addition, the members of Baker Bricks LLC appear to be Brandon Best and Josh Johnson, who are citizens of Utah, and as shown in the application for reinstatement they filed. So they're saying, hey, look, these guys, this corporation is really a Utah corporation, but we're going to try to get diversity here. And this is a massive advantage for Ben for multiple reasons.
Oh, well, huge fucking, I mean, there's, I'm just going to let him talk. This is a React stream. I don't need to jump ahead and explain what he's about to explain. I'll let him say it. Hi, Eva. I just joined the stream. How are you? How's it going, Lost Soul? I'm doing pretty well. I hope you are as well.
First of all, there's stronger First Amendment and anti-slap protection. So First Amendment, free speech, that's going to be very strong at the federal level. And all those anti-slap motions, that's a slap motion, is a strategic lawsuit against public participation. So anti-slap is essentially protecting free speech, saying, hey, you can't try to silence Ben with a lawsuit. This can't be a strategic lawsuit to silence Ben. So Utah's anti-slap laws will apply in federal court, and there'll also be very strong First Amendment protections.
FLAP stands for Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation.
There also will be a better shot at dismissing or weakening RICO cases. Now, federal judges are very familiar with RICO. They are well versed in their RICO claims. So going into federal court with judges that know RICO might give them a better shot of dismissing it, particularly as they argue, Ben argues, this is really a cobbled together case based on, bad facts, based on things that aren't true. So weakening and dismissing the RICO claims might be something that would be more advantageous at the federal level. Also, it's perceived as a neutral forum. So federal courts are often perceived as more...
That's really the bigger one to me. I would say the biggest of these three, which are all good, but at least so far, of these three, the neutral forum is kind of a big deal there, and the reduced home court advantage, because the court that Ben was initially dealing with these on, I don't believe he had to win in Jansen.
Or fair because of their procedures, because of the judges. It's not going to be somebody who's perceived as a local judge who might be beneficial to the local Utah business against the foreign Californians and other people from other states. Yeah. It's going to be a perceived area where the procedure, the judges are used to people from other jurisdictions.
Now, there might be some bias still remaining, but it's far reduced compared to the venue that they were dealing with before.
Are used to people from other states, and therefore it's somewhere that is perceived as more fair. And generally, I would say federal courts are very, very fair when dealing with diversity cases. Also, they would get a chance at a fresh review of the TRO. Now, we're going to go into the temporary restraining order and what happened with that on a separate video. So make sure you like this video, you're subscribed, because that's going to be a whole separate video where we talk about the TRO. But they're going to get another bite of the apple if they go to federal court. They're going to get a chance to look at that and tell the federal judge, hey, we think this is, this is crowding our First Amendment right. This is taking away our First Amendment rights.
Big time. And I believe he mentions the other video, because I believe by the time this one came out, the gag order had been more or less dissolved, and Ben was allowed to speak on this again. But I'm not quite sure, because it's right around the same time that all this happened, so...
And a federal judge might be willing to say, you know what, even though this was a win for Ben, because I do think Ben is still winning when it comes to TRO, I think he would be able to win harder in federal court. Also, in terms of strategic leverage and settlement and procedure, all of that is going to be more fair, and also the leverage, the visibility, the power that Ben has, that's going to be increased by moving it to federal court versus state court. So Ben is going to be in a better situation in that mediation, in the negotiations with Brooks and Minnie.
Yeah, before Ben was definitely defending himself / punching up bigly. Now he's a little bit more on even footing with Bricks and Minifigs and Bam's legal team, just through this change of venue.
Figs, in order to come to a reasonable settlement.
In terms of cost benefits, is pursuing the TRO worth the time? Really, I'd have to be a BAM executive to answer that. I imagine that the potential damages, that reputational harm that this kind of rhetoric and what Reckless Ben has been doing, I would argue that a corporation would see that harm as more than enough reason to continue to pursue the TRO. Now, the chances of him getting a properly expended TRO that keeps Reckless Ben gagged, that's far reduced, especially in the new venue. But it's still entirely possible. In fact, I think they have filed, but it hasn't been approved yet, that they're trying to get a new TRO in that has much more narrower language in terms of what Ben can and cannot talk about, which is what you want when it comes to any kind of injunction or TRO. You want it to be as narrowly scoped as possible, because anything that is considered broad is also considered a low-key a First Amendment's violation.
With them. So let's go to my judgment. So in judgment, I think it's an excellent tactical move by Ben's team. I think this was very wise for them to do, to try to move this to federal court. So big up on Ben's lawyers. I think they're doing an excellent job so far, and this is something that will change the game if they're able to get it in.
Well, you don't win a TR. I mean, well, Ben's not gonna quote unquote win a TRO here. What Ben is going to get, like, Ben winning the TRO means that the judge does not grant Bricks and Minifigs their TRO. Ben has not filed for any kind of TRO, but Bricks and Minifigs has. So the only way for Ben to win this TRO is if, you know, they don't find in favor of Bricks and Minifigs in regards to this new, more narrow TRO.
To federal court, and it'll be perceived as more fair procedurally, and will also protect Ben's speech. I think his First Amendment rights will be best protected in federal court. I'm not saying that his First Amendment goes away in state court. That's not at all the case, but I do think that federal judges are very careful about the First Amendment. So they might be even more on Ben's side when it comes down to the rulings, and that's what I think a lot of people are looking at is, hey, how are we going to protect his freedom of speech and his ability to make videos and make content? Now, this is not a win for Ben. Ben doesn't automatically win because it goes to federal court. However, it does massively increase his leverage, and I think Bricks and Minifigs is now pushed even deeper into a position to settle. So Bricks and Minifigs...
Again, I would say, like, instead of Ben being on his knees with Bricks and Minifigs over him, ready to pound his face in, now Ben is actually standing and they're in a new arena. You know, that's pretty much what's going on now. You know, before, it was looking really bad for Ben, you know, bottom of the ninth, whatever you want to talk, but it was not looking good for him. That gag order in place, he couldn't talk about it, was that him not being able to talk about it was definitely causing damage to him. But with this change of venue and the fact that Ben can talk about it now, he actually has a lawyer, all of this just means that, okay, cool, somebody actually got Ben onto his feet, and he has a fighting chance. He hasn't won yet by a long shot, but at least now it's a little bit more even footing. Eva, don't say it like that. I can say it however I want.
Keeps taking L's. They keep being pushed back and back and back on their position. And I think Bricks and Minifigs didn't want to settle with Ben. I think that they wanted to kind of fight this out. But the more that he's fighting back with these procedural moves, like moving to federal court, the better position he's in. And I think they can come to a better settlement when they eventually get there, which is what I think this will come down to in the end. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.
Yeah, look at that. That was 2 videos now where I could actually hear the entire catch you on the next one. Yeah, I would say this is overall a good thing for Ben. You know, he hasn't won the case yet. He's nowhere near winning, but he has a fighting shot now, and we're gonna have to see how things proceed from there. Next video that we have is, do I have this set up for 1.25? I do. Okay, cool. This next video is from Audit the Court. It's put on a 1.25 speed because I want it that way. Don't add me. But this one is called Police Department Denies Due Process and Ends Up in Court. Of course, Audit the Court is somebody who gives us lots of explanations during the actual video, so it's not like Lawtism where we just react to the raw court footage. This is much more structured, but without further ado, let's see, and hello JP Ravenfire. What's Eva? Or what makes Skittles? What? What? Why are you all adding me? I don't like this. Why are you adding me? Why you adding me, fool? Oh, I know why. I know why, because I said don't add me, and you all added me. Okay, wow. That actually took longer than it should. We're just gonna fly on this.
On October 10th, 2025, defendant Joshua Sanchez Lopez was charged with grand larceny of a motor vehicle in the Las Vegas Justice Court in Clark County, Nevada. A summons was issued in lieu of arrest, but Mr. Sanchez Lopez did not appear in court for his initial appearance on December 2nd, and a bench warrant was issued for his arrest. Mr. Sanchez Lopez was arrested on January 12th, 2026. Judge Eric Goodman set bail at $25,000 and ordered that, upon posting bond, Mr. Sanchez Lopez be released to the electronic monitoring program operated by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, the consolidated agency.
Okay, so this is LA, or Las Vegas.
Commonly referred to as Metro, that polices Las Vegas and unincorporated Clark County under the elected Clark County Sheriff, Kevin McMahill.
Oh, shit. Hold on, chat. We have to, please, no. Okay. Okay, we're okay. I almost accidentally launched Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and we're in the middle of reacting to a video, so that couldn't
January
happen.
29th, Metro informed Judge Goodman that it would not release Mr. Sanchez Lopez because he was too high risk, citing his prior bench warrants, failures to appear, and program.
You can't do that! You cannot, wait, I have to go back just a bit. If a judge orders something, you cannot, as the police department, come back and no, we're not releasing him. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah, I know the screen is flashing. I can't stop that. I've tried. It will not. It just doesn't fix. Sorry.
$25,000 and ordered that, upon posting bond, Mr. Sanchez Lopez be released to the electronic monitoring program operated by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, the consolidated agency commonly referred to as Metro that polices Las Vegas and unincorporated Clark County under the elected Clark County Sheriff, Kevin McMahill. On January 29th, Metro informed Judge Goodman that it would not release Mr. Sanchez Lopez because he was too high risk, citing his prior bench warrants, failures to appear, and program violations. On February 5th, Judge Goodman ordered Metro to release Mr. Sanchez Lopez within 24 hours. Instead of releasing him, Metro and Sheriff McMahill filed an emergency motion for the immediate stay of the release order on February.
I'm sorry, that you can't, look, I get people might not agree with court decisions. But, you don't flagrantly disobey a court order, you get them on appeal.
February 9th, the defense moved for an order to show cause regarding alleged contempt by the sheriff's representatives, and the court released Mr. Sanchez Lopez to its own pretrial monitoring program. However, on March 18th, Mr. Sanchez Lopez was arrested again, returning him to custody on 27 felony charges. This was reported by the media as Mr. Sanchez Lopez's 36th lifetime arrest.
Why did they rearrest him, though?
On March 19th, the day after Mr. Sanchez Lopez's rearrest, a hearing was held before Judge Goodman on the defense's motion regarding the contempt issue. Mr. Sanchez Lopez was not present after the jail declined to transport him for medical reasons, and his attorney, public defender David Westbrook, moved for a continuance. Metro, represented by attorneys Michael Dickerson, Lissa Anderson, and Travis Studdard, opposed the motion.
So people are wondering, like, how has he been arrested? Man, I'm about to say some shit, man. Now, there's a few ways that could explain why his arrests are so high. One, he has gotten in trouble a number of times and it's been bad. Two, he's gotten in trouble a few times, but now he's stuck in the system and the cops know who he is, and unless he moves to a new area to make a new life for himself, he's always going to be hassled by the cops, because they're always going to assume that he's doing something bad because he's done bad shit in the past before, and he's done that in their jurisdiction. So when you see something like this, like, honestly, if you get arrested more than 10 times in an area, the cops now know you in that area, and it's best that you leave, otherwise you're going to be dealing with harassment from them for as long as you're there. Did he assault on toilet for insisting? We're not sure. We'll have to see.
Liberties here on Sanchez Lopez. Mr. Westbrook, any of the motion you want to make?
I do, Your Honor. As I indicated to the court yesterday via email with all parties on the email, I'm requesting a continuance of today's proceedings.
Okay, so that is, wow. This guy is his public defender, which is kind of crazy because it seems that this public defender is on it. And for those who have watched me and watched Lawtism before, we know that typically speaking, public defenders are usually overworked and they're not usually locked in the way that this lawyer seems to be.
And the reason for that is simple. About 36 hours ago, and my timeline is a little tough. I just got an airplane from Oklahoma. About 36 hours ago, Metro filed a new supplemental briefing. I haven't had a chance to even read it, much less respond to it. And I want to file a response in writing, which I think is our right. All it takes for continuance is good cause, and their late filing is my good cause. There's other reasons that I can present, but I want to start with that one.
That is simply the order that Judge Mendoza actually had. We actually have a written order now.
Well, we have a written order that in no way binds this court, number one. And number two, I need to actually address what the power of that order is. And here's the thing, this came up before, and I'm actually surprised that Metro wouldn't just simply agree to the continuance in this case, since they've been asking for stays nonstop in all these cases. But here's the issue. When we were in front of Judge Mendoza, Metro filed their brief in that case, a 25-page brief with a bunch of exhibits, at 5:50 p.m. the day before the hearing. It wasn't served on us properly. I didn't get it until we...
Oh, fuck you! Prosecution is playing games, and that's gonna piss me the fuck off.
appeared for oral argument and it was
actually
handed
pissed
to
me
me.
off.
I got somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes to read it. And we were in a situation there where I could not ask for a continuance to fully brief the issue because my client had been ordered by the court onto medium-level house arrest. House arrest refused, told the judge we're not following your order, and said, but you can release him on house arrest. So he was pumped up to high-level house arrest in that case. The problem is that was going to interfere with his job, and he was afraid of losing his job. So I had to go forward then. Also, the sentencing was right around the corner in that case, and it would have damaged my client, I believe that's the case I'm picking up, it would have damaged my client to have the sentencing continued, just because I'm briefing this issue. So I could not, in that situation, ask for a continuance to file a written motion. I got it with about 20 to 40 minutes to read it, and I went up there and argued this brand new...
Okay, so what he's saying is, like, there have been other instances in which, you know, I could really have used a continuance here, but it was not appropriate for me to ask for one, so I just buckled down. I got it done despite prosecution fucking around, submitting a filing inappropriately, a 25-page filing, fucking a couple hours before we actually are in court and arguing this. I didn't ask for a continuance then because it wasn't appropriate. I'm telling you right now that this continuance is appropriate, and I'm showing good cause amongst a litany of other reasons that I have for asking for this continuance. Whether or not prosecution objects to it, I think it's important that this continuance be made so I can appropriately represent my client.
Issue that I had never seen before, with arguments I had never seen before, on a motion that I was never even served with, and did my best in front of the court. Now, subsequently, I asked the court for an opportunity to actually brief the case, and Metro opposed. So their argument was, you should have asked to continue it, and you should have asked to brief it. You didn't do that, and so we're going to oppose any opportunity to brief it.
Refer to the court. You talk about my court.
Oh, sorry, Judge Mendoza is talking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about the other Judge Mendoza.
I need to keep it straight.
Yeah, I am. So I asked Judge Mendoza for an opportunity to brief it. And I filed a proffer after the hearing of arguments that I would have made had it not been shut down. There's also a lot of oral argument I was trying to make in that case that I was.
Yeah, it's no. Look, I'm not even gonna say borderline obstruction anymore. I'm just gonna say straight up obstruction, because now he's quite literally saying that, look, I want to file for continuance, and they say no. I want to have this briefed out so I understand everything that's going on, and they say no. Well, what the fuck? Everything that I'm trying to do, they're saying no to. So how am I supposed to move forward?
Shut down on, and Judge Mendoza wouldn't hear. So I was denied the opportunity to brief it in front of Judge Mendoza, and their position was you should have asked for a continuance. Well, now we're in a similar situation today. They just filed something to the court. I have a right to reply in writing, and I'm asking for a continuance because my client's not in a situation where my request for a continuance will hurt him.
Mr. Westbrook requests that.
Oh man, that's piss. I fucking just why can't you do your job above board, prosecution? You get so many people off on technicalities because you can't just fucking behave and play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
The court continue the hearing so that he can respond in writing to a notice of supplemental authority that Metro had filed roughly 36 hours earlier. That filing, submitted on March 17th, 2026, attached a written order entered on March 13th by Clark County District Court Judge Erica Mendoza in a separate...
Wait. File date. I wish we saw file time, but look at that. File date. New Year's Eve. I am filing on New Year's Eve. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you? Oh my god, you guys are cocks. You guys are actually just fucking horrible. Are you shitting me? Not only are they filing late and inappropriately and not giving the other side a chance to respond, even a written response, they're choosing file dates like fucking New Year's Eve.
Entered on March 13th by Clark County District Court Judge Erica Mendoza in a separate criminal matter that addressed a similar legal question regarding Metro's authority to refuse to release a defendant under the conditions required by a court order. In that case, Metro declined to place defendant Matthew Cordero de Villa, who had pleaded guilty to coercion constituting domestic violence, on its electronic monitoring program at the level that the court had ordered, citing an unreasonable risk to public safety. And the defense moved...
And that's when the defense moved and they got him placed on the court's monitoring program, which is technically a higher tier, but okay, if the police aren't gonna do it, then we'll just fucking do it.
In order to show cause as to why the sheriff's representative should not be held in contempt. Well, Judge Mendoza discharged that order to show cause, concluding that the sheriff possessed the authority to determine whether a defendant could be placed on Metro's program. Notably, Mr. Westbrook and all three Metro attorneys
Why did the judge do that? Why did the judge grant authority that the police should not have? The court is the ones who are supposed to determine if someone is capable of being on their, obviously, maybe the police department has an issue and be like, hey, look, obviously we'll comply with the order, but here are some of our concerns. Would you consider perhaps amending a complaint in light of these concerns that we have now submitted to you in writing? That's something different than getting an order and be like, no, we're not going to do that because of this. And then the judge saying, yeah, no, the police are allowed to do that. No, judge, I'm sorry, that's a misstep. Because that authority will now be misused and abused.
Also participated in the Cordero de Villa matter. Now, although Mr. Westbrook was involved in the proceedings that produced Judge Mendoza's ruling, he argued to Judge Goodman that he had not filed written briefing before the show cause hearing in that case because requesting a continuance to brief the issue would have harmed his client, and he instead submitted a proffer after the hearing, setting out the arguments he would have made. Mr. Westbrook argued that a continuance was warranted here because Judge Mendoza's written order had been filed in his case shortly before the present hearing, leaving him without a meaningful opportunity to read it or to prepare a written response addressing its effect. Before we continue, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, Plod. Okay, real quick for sponsoring today's episode.
So
This case is in front of the Nevada Supreme Court at this point.
yes, it is.
with 3 other cases.
Yes.
And it's being argued in front of the Supreme Court.
It is being argued in front of the Supreme Court. However, we've all agreed that the contempt issue is not moot.
But that's what happened with Mendoza. She's in higher court, she discharged.
Right, but she's not, she, first of all, again, I need to address that in writing. If I'm not allowed a continuance to file a written brief, then I'm in the same situation here as I was in front of Judge Mendoza. And the court would be in a situation where you don't have the full information or the full law in order to hear this argument. And we want to avoid summary decisions. I mean, part of our complaint about what Metro is doing on District Dickerson's advice is that they're making summary decisions behind closed doors, where nobody is present, there are no checks and balances, they don't even have a consistent format for rejecting or accepting people to their program, they won't share the information with us, and we're not allowed to appear and present our case. And what they want to do is turn courtrooms into little back rooms where they make their decisions.
Is this the motion to continue, Your Honor?
Yes, it is.
What is this on?
It's my motion, okay, well.
Completely. If you have an argument to make, opposing counsel, what you do is you object. Then you state your objection. You don't just fucking chime in to argue. What is this? Are we supposed to listen? Yes, you are supposed to listen to that. And you're supposed to keep your fucking mouth shut unless you have a relevant objection. Excuse me, objection. He made me so angry I fucking fell over my words.
I appreciate you calling it nonsense, Mr. Dickerson. I know you think due process is nonsense, but I happen to disagree with you.
I just think that your diatribe here is nonsense.
Mr. Westbrook argues that Metro decides whether a defendant is admitted to or excluded from the release program in a closed and summary process without a consistent standard, without disclosing the basis for its decision, and without any opportunity for the defendant to be heard, and that this framework deprives defendants such as Mr. Sanchez Lopez of their liberty without the due process that the Constitution requires. Now, although Metro's attorneys did not address the statutory basis for their position during the hearing, a previously issued statement from Metro's Office of Public Information pointed to 2 statutes. Section 211.252 provides that the sheriff or chief of police
may supervise a convicted prisoner electronically instead of confining the prisoner physically in the county or city jail if the prisoner has a residential living situation which is capable of meeting standard set and general rules and individual conditions for electronic supervision, and the sheriff or chief of police concludes that electronic supervision poses no unreasonable risk to public safety. Okay, subsection 2 here might be something, but... Okay. We'll have to see how the judge rules on that.
Police may supervise a prisoner electronically rather than confining them physically, only if, among other requirements, the sheriff or chief of police concludes that electronic supervision poses no unreasonable risk to public safety. Section 211.300 extends that framework from prisoners to a person detained before trial, allowing the sheriff or chief of police, with the approval of the court of jurisdiction, to supervise an unconvicted detainee in the manner provided for convicted prisoners. Reading the 2 provisions together, Metro maintained that a court's approval authorizes placement on the program, but does not compel it, and that the statute reserves to the sheriff an independent determination of public safety. Accordingly, Metro determined that the conclusion that Mr. Sanchez Lopez posed an unreasonable risk was an exercise of the sheriff's statutory authority, and Judge Mendoza's ruling in the Cordero de Villa case agreed with this interpretation.
Here's the thing. Like every local court, I followed the upper courts. Whatever the higher courts tell me to do, whatever they're doing, I'm gonna follow what they're doing. I mean, she just...
Hold up, aren't ankle monitors strictly for non-violent crimes? Typically speaking, yes, but we know that the defendant here has been previously convicted on attempted murder charge, but that's not the charge that he's facing right here. He could be facing a non-violent charge, but it seems like the police might be being prejudicial and be like, hey, he's gotten on for other shit before, we're not going to let him go. It's like, well, did he commit a violent crime here? Does what you're making, does the decision you are making make sense in a vacuum? Because if it doesn't, then that could be a procedural issue.
She did discharge it. I mean, it took a while.
But again, if in Nevada they actually say that a sheriff or chief of police actually can exercise discretion on whether or not they actually allow somebody to be supervised electronically, that means that it's just it's an option that the police can either approve or deny, and it's not something that the court can necessarily compel. Maybe that is, specific to Nevada, but it's really going to depend on how the judge interprets that specific statute.
Get a written, or this wasn't filed until the 13th of this month. That was given to me by Metro, but to discharge it of the, because it's not the exact same issue, but it's adjacent to the issue in front of me. I mean, it's all in the same ballpark. Given that's what Judge Mendoza did, and she's a district court judge, I'm a justice court judge, I mean, I'm just going to dismiss the case down here. I'm going to discharge the order the same way that Mendoza did.
Okay, well, we obviously object to that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They've agreed to
Rejected up there, you're going to turn it down here.
And look, this is what they're trying to do. They keep sending me.
But you'll be in front of the Supreme Court.
I will be in front
Make
of
the decision.
I will be in front of the Supreme Court, but here's the issue.
Yeah.
They keep asking for first of all, Judge Mendoza's order in that case does not bind you in this case in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so let's put that out front right away. And you know who likes to make that argument? Metro. As you might recall, we had an issue a few years ago regarding the subpoena power of defense attorneys, where we had district courts saying that we have subpoena power, and Metro was arguing throughout that those district courts didn't make an order in this case, so therefore they don't apply. Now they're arguing the opposite. They like to argue both sides. Heads I win, tails you lose. That's not what the law allows.
Yeah, if Metro is playing these games, heads I win, tails you lose, that's not,
Your Honor, we could stand here and go tit for tat all day long about...
You're not tatting. He's making all the arguments, and you guys are standing there smug as shit. So fucking tit. If you want tit for tat, actually tat to his tit. And then this guy walks in. If you tell me to settle down one more freaking time, I'm gonna get arrested for elder abuse. Elder abuse, Papa Elfpire, do you understand me? That's what I thought. You walk
these
away.
allegations.
I follow the I have the transcript is destructive,
Uh-oh, yelling
but
match.
now the actual written order, that kind of controls down here. Her order kind of controls down here. If anybody wants to make records, you're welcome to make records, but given what Judge Mendoza ruled, or her order, I'm discharging this. So if anyone wants to make a record, you're welcome to. But yeah, discharging it.
Judge Goodman states that he is discharging the order to show cause because Judge Mendoza had discharged the order to show cause in the Cordero de Villa case, over Mr. Westbrook's objection that Judge Mendoza's order does not bind Judge Goodman in this separate case. While Mr. Sanchez Lopez's case in front of Judge Goodman is in the Justice Court, Judge Mendoza issued her decision in the Cordero de Villa case in the District Court, which is a higher level court in the Nevada Judicial.
Yeah, so yeah, they have to... The judicial court absolutely has to, abide by the higher court's ruling here. Like, what? Chat sides with Papa Elfpire.
System. Typically, felony cases begin in the Justice Court for preliminary matters, such as setting bond and a preliminary determination of probable cause, before being bound over to the District Court for the remainder of the case proceedings. Additionally, under Section 177.0
to court and the county from a final judgment of the Justice Court. Defendant only may appeal from a final judgment or verdict in a criminal case.
015 of the Nevada Revised Statutes, final judgments in criminal cases in the Justice Court can be appealed to the District Court. However, this does not mean that Justice Court judges are required to reach the same legal conclusions as District Court judges in separate matters before them. A District Court does sit above a Justice Court, but that authority is appellate, and a District Court decision is binding on a Justice Court only when the District Court is reviewing a particular Justice Court case on appeal. In this situation, Judge Mendoza was not reviewing the Sanchez-Lopez matter, but was deciding an entirely separate case as a trial judge. Her order was therefore persuasive rather than controlling authority.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's probably a good idea for a lower court to consistently rule in a way that the District Court would. Otherwise, you get appealed on, and then the district court is just going to appeal you anyway, and then what are you doing? This is why, like, well, yes, sure, the district court's not necessarily required to rule in the same exact way. If you have a standing ruling and the cases are similar enough, frankly, just save yourself the headache and rule as the district court would.
And Judge Goodman remained free to decide the contempt question for himself. However, it was also within his discretion to defer to a higher level court's interpretation of the same statutes, despite the fact that it was not legally binding on him.
Well, Your Honor, I'm going to hold the record right here.
Okay.
Okay. And this is my record. That is a violation of due process. They have agreed that the issue of contempt is not moot. Your Honor, you're the person who decides whether whether Metro committed contempt in regard to.
Hold on, I find that even that I find that even
Let him talk, let him talk.
no basis for what they did. They had a parallel action up in front of Mendoza, Judge Mendoza. It's not this issue, but it's basically the same issue. So when they denied my order, at least they had a basis, because there, at least at that point, there was the transcript. So that a basis, what if it is nice as an actual order? Yeah, but at least they had a basis for denying it. Then I can't find that they acted in bad faith. I mean, the order came, so I can't find the order they acted in bad faith. So, I mean, I'm discharging this.
Well, you're
not going to find any kind of contempt.
Thank you.
Your Honor, you
Thank you, Your
can't
Honor,
find.
because that is a discretionary decision of this court.
I know. I read the order from
Your Honor,
Okay.
do you believe they acted in bad faith? Because it sounds to me like the issue that you actually do believe they acted in bad faith, but you feel restricted by an order from the district court that has not made the order in your case. I mean, that's why we're here. It's so that the court can actually rule on this.
Yeah, this is actually an issue where he should absolutely, like, cause that's the thing. It's like, if this judge actually believes that prosecution is behaving in bad faith, then a ruling should be made here. I'm sure that the district ruling, even though it's not, this is in the circumstance in which prosecution is trying to fuck around. So, if you do actually find them acting in bad faith, don't pass the buck back up to the district court, because you see the bad faith happening right before you, in front of you. Don't just go, I read the other one, fuck it, and then fucking I'm discharging this. No, this is still a problem. The PD is going above and beyond. Yeah, no, they really are, and not in a good way.
A transcript where it looked like Judge Mendoza was going to rule this way, the way she ruled.
Okay.
And that's the way she ruled.
And she ruled without even giving me the opportunity to fully brief it.
You're in front of the Nevada Supreme Court.
I am in front of the Nevada Supreme Court. But Your Honor, before you go on, I have to talk to you about my full record, and I have to give you the public interest angle on this as well as everything else. I've already given the legal angle, and I object to it. I think this is a violation of due process. But let's look at what's actually happening here. Metro keeps filing requests for us to agree to a stay of all proceedings on this until the Supreme Court has ruled. And my response to all their requests to stay has been exactly the same. I will gladly agree to a stay of all contempt proceedings in all lower courts if Metro will agree to stop committing acts of contempt. They will not agree to that. They created this completely false narrative in the media, which is designed to stoke fear.
Oh yeah, no, I already mentioned it before. If everyone's public defender was like this, you wouldn't need a paid criminal lawyer if your public defender was like this. This guy is going fucking tit for tat. But my statement is also there. Look, they got 3 people on the police representative side. I imagine prosecution is over there as well. But they are doing above and beyond in a way that's not good, whereas the public defender is absolutely going above and beyond in a way that is fucking actually admirable in terms of zealous representation of his client. Is this legal jousting? Pretty damn close.
Mr. Dickerson is very good at going to the media and telling people to be scared of defendants, when what we should actually be scared of is this star chamber back room denial of people's rights without any due process. That's what we should be scared of. And he knows he's wrong on the law. So he's trying to go out there.
That is like blatantly.
I get to
This
talk.
has been a record.
I get to talk.
This
And then you get to
is
talk.
grandstanding.
And an ad hominem attack, Your Honor. This is nonsense.
I want you to go back a few sentences and remember what you just said about me. Okay, so the point is, I think he knows he's wrong in the law, and so instead of fighting it in a courtroom, like today, he's fighting it out in the media, and he's trying to use fear. I know that the court's probably gotten phone calls from people with threats. I've gotten phone calls from people with threats. And that's an atmosphere that was created by Mr. Dickerson in the media.
Hey,
Because he knows.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. These motherfuckers need to stop interrupting him. If you have an objection, voice a proper objection. But right now, shut the fuck up. He talks, and then you talks. And the judge is the one who decides when you talk. You're like, okay, thank you for your argument. Do you have a response? And then you make your response. Stop with the interjections.
Hold on a second, and don't piss the media. I don't care about the media. My dad has never cared about the media.
Yeah.
I don't really worry about death threats. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. What I worry about, what I care
But do you get them? Does the judge in the court get death threats? And is it in relation to the fact that this PD seems to be weaponizing the media and making the average person fear a defendant who, mind you, should be innocent until proven guilty?
about is what the district court does, because we're the lower court.
I'm glad the media is here, Your Honor, because they're the fourth estate, and they're the ones who are going to actually show what's happening behind these closed doors. So I'm very glad the media is here, but the way Mr. Dickerson is
They're
using the
welcome
media...
to. They're absolutely welcome to. They're in here filming this. They're absolutely welcome to do whatever
Absolutely.
they want. They'll do whatever they want.
Then we're in
What I
agreement.
care about at the end of the day is what did Judge Mendoza do?
Yes, and I am asking you for the opportunity, because if you don't give me this opportunity, then your decision is now summary, just like Judge Mendoza's decision was summary. I'm asking for the opportunity to brief this issue that was just handed to me by these guys 36 hours ago. I'm asking them to brief
It
it.
was something you knew was
I really hate the lady because she's like shaking her head and like doing shit that I'm like, well, did you file this 36 hours ago and have you not given him appropriate time to respond?
coming for weeks because you were there for the argument for the Mendoza, and she pointed to the fact that she was likely to rule exactly how she ruled.
She wrote a 17-page order, which I haven't been able to brief, Your Honor. Okay, listen, Mr. Dickerson's in a great position because Metro has the ability to go and hire outside counsel to go do their work. All right, these are two private attorneys who are very good at their jobs that Metro is able to use taxpayer money to hire. I am a public defender.
Yes.
And
You're
unfortunately,
very good at your job.
thank you very much.
You're very good at your job.
But I don't get to hire anybody outside. I've got a team of other public defenders who also have other jobs to do that are helping me, you know, on this case. But I don't get to hire outside counsel to do all this work. I was just in Oklahoma doing death penalty work that is extremely important. I'm trying to save a life. And I come back here to this and I ask for a reasonable continuance to brief the very issue you're currently ruling on. And if you rule on it without giving me the opportunity to brief it, then it's another denial of due process and it's a summary order. And my question is, what is the harm in letting me present my
God,
case?
this guy's making a
And I'll tell you
great
what the harm
argument.
is. They're wrong on the law. And so they want to try to debate this case in the court of public opinion because in a court of law, they're going to lose. So they're trying to shut me up. It's like pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. When someone says that, you pull back the curtain. And if you do, you'll find Mr. Dickerson there saying, please, dear God, don't listen to what he's saying because
So listen to
you'll
me.
agree with it.
It has no basis in law. He hasn't made any legal argument. That's the
Right.
bottom line. He
I
has
have.
nothing.
Do you
has
disagree
what the
that
fuck?
if I do not
Hear this, the Nevada Supreme Court. The Nord is right now the Nevada Supreme Court.
That's right.
You know what I'm going to listen to? You know what I'm going to listen to at the end of the day is the Nevada Supreme Court.
Oh, we all are, Your Honor. That's their job.
Yeah.
But listen, in the
I'm not going to
meantime,
overturn a district court judge.
they're going to continue to violate
It's not
clients'
an
rights. And then-
overturning. You have mentioned yourself. It's not the same case. It's similar, but it's not the same. So you're not overturning a district court judge's decision by allowing him to brief on this. This is crazy. Kudo. Thank you so much. Welcome to our house, Carl.
They're going to go into a courtroom every single time I do a motion for an order to show cause. And they're going to say, you can't rule on this, Judge, because, you know, Judge Mendoza, based on one-sided briefing and a partial argument in an ambush hearing, ruled in our favor.
All of those comments that it's making are belied.
Give this man a raise. He needs it. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the fight, by the way.
By the wording of the order, which he apparently has not read.
Right.
Because the Judge Mendoza addresses each and every one of these contentions that he's making. For example, Your Honor, he filed a giant proffer after she ruled from the bench, discharging the order to show cause, with all of the arguments that he wanted to make in response to our brief.
That's what he's supposed to do. Is this supposed to be your gotcha? You're just repeating what he already said he did. What's happening? Did everyone notice that? She's saying it too, like she's got him. Yeah, he filed this huge proffer after, yeah, like he was supposed to, because of what? Are you retarded? He filed the proffer because to file for continuance in that particular case would have brought damage to his client, so he can't do it. This time, asking for a continuance would not damage his client, and so he's asking for it. Oh man, okay.
And she accepted it and considered it, and that's why it took over a month for us to get that written order. So all of these things, all of these issues that he's raising were addressed by Judge Mendoza before she wrote that order.
So I'm sorry, I think they're saying that I'm wrong on the law and that I'm wrong on what the order is. And what I'm saying is, I can show you that I'm right on the law and right on the order if I'm allowed to file a brief that's responsive to the pleading they filed less than 36 hours ago. So we both agree that I haven't made my point very clearly and I haven't cited to the law. So I'm asking to do that and they're
Smart fucking clapback, dude.
saying don't let him do that and you're agreeing with them. That's a problem.
Your motion for
Dude, fucking good. That was fucking great. That was a great turnaround. That was wow. Oh, we gotta go back. That was fucking good.
The law and that I'm wrong on what the order is. And what I'm saying is, I can show you that I'm right on the law and right on the order if I'm allowed to file a brief that's responsive to the pleading they filed less than 36 hours ago. So we both agree that I haven't made my point very clearly and I haven't cited to the law. So I'm asking to do that and they're saying don't let him do that and you're agreeing with them. That's a problem.
your motion for continuance is denied.
Okay.
If you want to make any kind of record, you're welcome to make a record that you made.
Is the finding that I don't have good cause or is the finding that you think you can't give me a continuance because of Judge Mendoza? I needed to know exactly why.
I was waiting to see what Judge Mendoza did. It's the exact same, I mean, not the exact same issue, but like I said, it's the same ballpark as what has happened to my department. All this is now in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will hear this, so save all your energy and all of this for the Supreme Court.
Well, I don't have to save my energy, Judge. I got plenty.
Damn, Judge, you just said, damn, what? I can't even, this fucking guy. Did you just hear that? Did you just fucking hear that? I don't need to save my energy, Judge. I got plenty. Dude, this guy's come to fucking throw down. Holy shit.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
We object under the due process clause, under the rules that allow me to file responses to motions that are filed by counsel.
We didn't file a motion, Your Honor. We filed a notice of supplemental authority, simply giving the court the written order that was in the transcript that we provided to you, and which has been part of the briefing all along.
Okay, it hasn't been because it's a new order. That's just not right.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an opportunity to
Case
respond.
is discharged.
Thank you.
Your Honor, thank you.
Man, that was wild.
Now that all this has happened, where's oh my gosh. This creates a quagmire.
Yeah, well, when Metro violates the law, and it does create a quagmire.
No, Metro, you're free to leave.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Goodman discharged.
No way. No way. That was off the record, but did you hear that? The judge is like, this is a quagmire. Fucking public defender totally called out Metro, and then the judge replied with, Metro, you're free to leave. that judge didn't give the fucking chat. By the way, I think it was the two. The judge did not give Metro a chance to respond to the last word that the public defender was able to get in, and that was fucking amazing. You need the cat. How's it going?
This has happened. Where's my, oh my gosh. This great quagmire.
Yeah, well, when Metro violates the law, and it does create a quagmire.
Yeah, Metro, you're free to leave.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Goodman discharged the order to show cause, aligning his
Fucking amazing.
ruling with the district court's resolution of the same question. Mr. Sanchez Lopez remained in custody following this decision, and as of the date of writing this episode, the case is still pending, with the next setting scheduled for November 19th, 2026. The Nevada Supreme Court case also remains undecided. This case sits at the intersection of two principles that do not easily yield to one another. One is the authority of a judge, after weighing a defendant's record, the charges against them, and
Eva,
the risk
you
of
and
flight or
Meezus should try and
danger,
get in
to
contact with these
decide
kinds
whether
of
a person
lawyers
awaiting trial is
and interview
released
them on
and
autism.
on what terms. The other is the responsibility of the sheriff, who operates the jail and administers the electronic monitoring program, to ensure that those placed under that supervision can be managed safely in the community. Nevada statutes assign a role to each, and the dispute between Judge Goodman and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department reflects a real
Okay.
disagreement about where one authority ends and the other begins. A controlling answer can come only from the appellate courts, which is where both sides have now turned. Until the Nevada Supreme Court issues an opinion, the question of who holds the final word over a pretrial defendant's release in Nevada, the judge who orders it, or the sheriff who carries it out, remains open. Let us know if there is a case or courtroom interaction that you would like us to explore in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe so we can
That was pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. Far better than I thought it was gonna be. I hope that fucking guy makes a compelling argument to the Supreme Court and Metro is basically compelled by the courts to stop fucking around and denying due process to people. Next video that we have, and let me see, this one, okay, yeah. So we are now out of the court in terms of our React videos, and we're actually moving on to the Fat Files. This was a video posted by a Fat Electrician 5 days ago, and it is entitled Rabbits vs. Farmers, A History of Violence. I mean, yeah. Okay, hold on, that's so funny.
We've been doing nothing.
Oh God! Okay, I'm so sorry. Here, we'll get back to just normal. Hey,
We've been doing nothing but talking about businesses on this
Oh,
channel for
man.
months now. We need to get a little bit more unhinged.
Oh yeah.
Today we're talking about the Great Idaho Bunny Bash, that time in 1981 when a bunch of Idaho farmers were having their crops eaten by jackrabbits, and they came to the very logical conclusion that the only way to handle this was to grab a bunch of baseball bats and treat it like it was the opening.
But no. See, here's the thing, Sparkies. Pippa isn't a jackrabbit. A jackrabbit is not like a bunny or even a normal rabbit. Okay, a jackrabbit is 9 to 10 pounds and can eat upwards of a pound a day. These are not bunnies. These are not rabbits. These are jackrabbits. These motherfuckers eat a tenth of their fucking body weight a day, and they fucking eat so hard they eat all the way down to the root, making it so the plant cannot grow back. Jackrabbits are a fucking blight.
Scene to the gangs of New York. Okay, and just so we're clear, this is not the first time this has happened. This is just the last time that this happened, okay? Farmers and jackrabbits have been having turf wars
big
with
time.
each other for centuries. And we're gonna get to all of it right after a word from our sponsor.
Delete me. Look at my new carry
Delete
gun.
me.
Where did you get the new Canic Radian?
They sent it to me.
I said that before Jackrabbits was said. Yeah, no, I bet you, Sparkies, that you're aware of the blight that is the
They
jackrabbit.
sent it to me. That's my new carry gun. I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, in
Let's
order
do
to
it.
understand the Great Bunny Bash, the first thing we got to realize is that we're
Did
not
you
actually talking.
rewatch Eva? No, I fucking had to deal with jackrabbits before. I'm not a city gal. I've lived either in rural areas or straight up just the fucking ocean. So, I'm familiar with jackrabbits.
About bunnies, you know, like the cute little Easter bunnies. No, we're not talking about Peter Cottontail. We're talking about jackrabbits. Ooh,
Yeah, look
okay,
at
you probably
that
thought they were
feet.
the
Yeah,
same
that's
or
gross.
similar. They're not, okay? A jackrabbit is what happens when you take a normal rabbit, you give it a steady diet of steroids, then you get it hopped up on methamphetamines and Viagra and give it an unshakable hatred for
Oh my
agriculture.
God.
Your average jackrabbit weighs like 9 pounds and it eats a pound of food
Yeah.
a day. All right, I'm gonna say that again, but a little bit slower. It eats 1/9 of its body mass in food every single day. And whatever it decides to eat, it's not just walking up and nibbling on the leaves. No, it picks
No,
a
it's
plant
not.
and then eats the entire plant all the way down to its roots so that
Yep.
it never regrows ever again. Jackrabbits multiply and breed so fast that nature literally cannot keep up. Every 10 years, jackrabbits experience a population boom, and it's because a jackrabbit can have anywhere between 3 to 8 offspring every single month. Okay, we've all heard the phrase breed like rabbits.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry, what? Did he say 3 to 6 a month?
Between 3 to 8 offspring
3 to 8.
every single month.
Every single month? What the fuck is that? That's gotta be one of the fastest gestation periods for a mammal I've ever fucking heard. That is so fucking fast. That's faster than cats. What the fuck?
Hey, we've all heard the phrase breed like rabbits. Yeah, jackrabbits look at regular rabbits and are like, those are rookie numbers. Watch this shit. They quite literally outbreed their natural predators. And once there's so many jackrabbits that the natural predators can't keep up, it reaches a critical mass and then there's just jackrabbits everywhere. And when I say there's jackrabbits everywhere, I'm talking about like millions and millions of jackrabbits. And if that wasn't bad enough, once the predators can't keep up with their population, they're basically unkillable because their preferred environment is a drought. You know, that weather condition that kills or drives away all other forms of life? Yeah, jackrabbits are sitting there like, this is fucking dope, I like this. And then because the drought drives away all the predators or kills off all the predators, the jackrabbits multiply even more, and then there's even more jackrabbits.
No, elves do not breed that quickly.
So not only do they have this like 10-year cyclical population boom, a population boom can also happen if there's a drought. Once they outbreed the natural predators, the only thing that keeps their population in check outside of human intervention is they eat everything in their ecosystem until they starve to death, or a disease happens and they're living in such close proximity because there's so many of them that the disease wipes them out. There's literally accounts from the 1800s during population outbreaks where people said it looked like the ground outside was moving, and wildlife biologists say that during population booms, there can be over 200 jackrabbits per square mile. All of them eating a pound of food a day and reproducing 8 more jackrabbits every 30 days. It's literally a plague.
Houston, we have a problem.
Because of this, humans have been killing jackrabbits in North America longer than we've had written history. Obviously, Native Americans have been killing jackrabbits forever to use their pelts, to eat them, whatever, that's perfectly fine. But during population booms, they would also have a practice of mass culling so that they could get a bunch of pelts and a bunch of food all at once. The way they would do this is they would get a bunch of the boys together, they would all stand in a big straight line at arm's length, they would grab their tomahawks or their spears or
That helped lead to the Dust Bowl. First of all, Giganator, welcome to the chat, and yeah, I could see that leading to the Dust Bowl. I mean, if you had a population boom happen in what's known as the Dust Bowl, the agricultural center, during the time where we fucked up our soil and that huge drought hit, now you have, oh god, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
their bow and arrows or whatever, and they would slowly start walking through a field, driving these hundreds and thousands of rabbits one direction, and then slowly circle around until they formed a circle around a massive herd of rabbits, and then just kill all of them. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why would they kill them that way? Why not just shoot them with a bow and arrow? Okay, well, first of all, there's too many of them. I've only got so many arrows. Second of all, it's a target this big, and it runs at 45 miles an hour. This is literally
40 fucking 5 miles an hour? Jesus Christ.
the only practical way to do it.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Okay, fast forward to the 1800s. You get westward expansion. People coming over. They're starting farms. What do farmers do? Farmers kill off natural predators, like coyotes. Why? Because they're eating my chickens.
I saw one of my chickens get captured by a coyote, and I watched him hop the fence with a chicken in his mouth. I'm like, God damn, these motherfuckers.
Okay, we can't have that, so the farmers kill off the coyotes. That makes sense. Only problem, guess what the coyotes aren't doing now? Killing off the jackrabbits. Now, the jackrabbit population explodes. And the only thing left to control it is disease or starvation, and starvation isn't gonna happen because there's farmers, there's way more food because the farmers are growing fucking food. So now there's more jackrabbits than there's ever been ever. It's just a plague of jackrabbits. They're absolutely everywhere. And now these millions of jackrabbits are eating all the farmers' crops. They can't have that because then they're not gonna have any crops. So now the farmers gotta kill off all the jackrabbits. It's like that little kid story, you know, the old lady that swallowed the fly and then she swallowed the spider to eat the
There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. I knew an old lady who swallowed a spider that wiggled and jiggled and squiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to eat the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a... No, I'm kidding. I could go on and on, though. I think I can remember up to dog or cow. Something like that. Anyway, let's continue.
fly and she swallowed the bird to eat the spider. Sorry, I've been reading my kids too many bedtime stories. Anyways, and it wasn't just the crops, it was also eating all the feed for the cattle and the horses because jackrabbits also eat hay. And when jackrabbits eat hay, they eat it from the bottom where they can reach, and then they eat out the bottom of a giant pile of hay, and then the whole thing can fall over and crush somebody, so that's dangerous. And then once the jackrabbits do get into the hay that they don't eat, they piss and shit all over, so it ruins all of it. So not only are the jackrabbits eating all the crops, they're also potentially starving off all the livestock. If so facto, the rabbits gotta go. So the farmers looked at what the Native Americans did and they were like, okay, that's a pretty good fucking idea. Over time, they refined the process a little bit. They didn't just make a big circle around the rabbits. They'd put up a fence and then basically form a phalanx like the 300 Spartans and then walk them into the fence and then club them all to death.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit.
And from here, it kind of turned into like a community event whenever there was a rabbit drive. Like all the people show up, they bring their wives, their kids, the sons, maybe the daughters help. The wives are off on the sideline getting the picnic ready so everybody can eat after they kill all these rabbits because everybody's tired from swinging a club for an hour straight, and it just becomes a communal thing. And this is how the jackrabbit population in the western states of the United States of America stayed in check for over 100 years. Like I went back and dug through old newspapers, and pretty much since newspapers have been mainstream or like in common circulation, there's been articles about what is now known as a rabbit drive, aka culling the rabbit population in the western states dating back to the early 1800s. All the articles back then are like one of two things. They were just letting the community know how well the rabbit drive went, and since cameras weren't super common back then, they would literally just draw pictures. Or they were announcing an upcoming rabbit drive to get volunteers to help them get rid of all these fucking rabbits, and you can really tell it was written in like the 1800s because there's just zero fat. There's no filler words, nothing in these ads in the paper. Quote, rabbit drive, Duster, Tuesday. A rabbit drive will be held at the Duster community beginning early Tuesday morning, according to an announcement from that place. The drive will begin at Pete Duke's place.
Meat on a bun with nothing.
I love that so much. That's such a great freaking show, Parks and Rec.
Catch up if you want. I couldn't care less.
Literally, just grab your axe handles and show up to Pete's place. We're beating the shit out of rabbits. And this worked for like 100 years. It was just part of life. You're a farmer out on the prairie one day. You look out your window and it looks like the prairie's moving because there's millions of jackrabbits. Then you go look at your crops. Your crops are gone. So you call up the boys, you grab your axe handles, and you go play whack-a-rabbit. Okay, there's nothing malicious to it. They didn't necessarily enjoy it. It was just straight up, this is what I've got to do to feed my kids. I'm gonna do it. Okay, occasionally was there the one farmer that maybe enjoyed it a little bit too much, like he lost too much of his crop and he's pissed, or he's going through a divorce and needs to let off some steam or something.
One farmer from World War I.
I don't know, probably. But at the end of the day, what do? I mean, we were killing rabbits. He enjoyed killing the rabbits a little bit too much. Not much you can do about it, you know, just make a mental note.
Yeah, he got a little bit of that, you know, he got a little bit of a blood rage. And you know, we got him out of it, but like, it's okay now.
Don't let your kids go over to his house to play with his kids. Like, move on. For the most part, it was just people doing what they had to do to survive. And then the farmers took another thing from the Native Americans, and they didn't just leave a giant pile of dead rabbits. No, they used them as best they possibly could. They skinned them, they used their pelts, they ate them, they fed them to their chickens, they fed them to their hogs. They got every ounce out of that animal that they possibly could. But then in the 1930s, things started to change because there was the biggest jackrabbit population boom ever. And that is because of the Dust Bowl, aka a massive drought that lasted for years. And what's the environment that jackrabbits thrive in? A drought. It also kills off the...
What's up, Sparky's Tech Corner? Thank you so much for the 2. What's up, Doc?
Natural predators, so the jackrabbit population...
It's not it's E. Yeah, the E-H-H-H. What's up, Doc?
Just fucking explodes. To give you an idea of how many jackrabbits there were, the Wichita Beacon in 1935 reported an estimated 8 million jackrabbits in 30 counties.
Oh my God.
Around the same point in time, from another newspaper article I found in 1934, it was estimated that a single jackrabbit would do $10 worth of crop damage every single year. And that's in 1934 money, which is $250 today.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
You've got
a single jackrabbit. Oh my God. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is just bad.
8 million rabbits in 30 counties. 250 times 8 million. That's $2 billion worth of crop damage a year, and that's just in one section of one state. And to make things even worse, you know what else is going on during the Dust Bowl? The Great Depression. People are already desperate, aka these rabbits gotta go. But it's not that simple anymore because something else happened in the 1930s. In the 1930s is when animal rights became professionalized. This is when you had humane societies and animal rights groups popping up.
There's no way motherfuckers were protesting against killing jackrabbits. That's crazy. No, absolutely not. If there are those people, you know, honestly, to set them in a field with 4 million jackrabbits, and trust me, by the end of the day, they will be taking your gun to kill the jackrabbit for you instead of protesting it. That's fucking crazy.
AKA, Industrial Revolution has happened. The quality of human life has risen so high that you can now make a living bitching about how other people make a living. Newspapers are now much more prevalent. Radio's now mainstream. Information is traveling so much faster than it ever has in human history. Because of this, people that are completely disassociated from the issue and don't understand the issue are now hearing about the issue, and they're developing very strong opinions and feelings about this issue. And when these people that have never seen a jackrabbit hear that farmers are beating jackrabbits to death with axe handles, they're not picturing a jackrabbit, you know, this 9-pound agricultural terrorist running around eating 1/9 of its body weight in crops every single day. No, they're picturing cute little Peter Cottontail and a big mean farmer with an axe going out there like a barbarian. And then they hear that after the farmers kill all the rabbits, they're skinning them and using their skin, and then they eat them, and then they feed all the meat to their hogs and their chickens, and they just absolutely lose their minds because they don't know that chickens are like actually vicious predators, literally the descendants of fucking T-Rexes. Okay, you know what hogs will eat? Literally fucking anything. You know what chickens will eat? Also basically pretty much anything, including other chickens.
Fish! Eat other fish!
Yeah.
The marlins and the trout! What's he talking about?
Chickens literally kill other chickens, like to the point that it's a problem. You want to know who understands that problem?
Yeah, I understand that about modern activists, but like, I don't know. I just didn't. God, I mean, just. It just seems like the more people we can access, the more retarded the species becomes.
Genuinely cares about it? Farmers. That's why in 1903 they created chicken glasses and had them patented. Okay, the farmers didn't do this because they thought it was cute. They didn't want their flock to have mad drip so they could flex on all the other chicken farmers. No, they did it because if they don't put the glasses on the chickens, they'll peck each other's eyes out. And then they made the glasses red so that the chickens couldn't see blood, because if one chicken gets hurt and is bleeding, the other chickens will swarm it and kill it. And if another chicken gets hurt during that swarm and that attack, then they'll attack that chicken. And then next thing you know your entire flock of chickens have murdered themselves in a cage match. But these people don't understand this, nor do they care to try to understand it, so they just get their feelings hurt and get loud about it for no fucking reason. Which is infuriating because the farmers are literally doing what you're supposed to do. They're using the entire animal to the best that they can. That's exactly what the Native Americans did. And when you hear about the Native Americans doing it in like elementary school, it's like, oh my God, the Native Americans were such great people. When they had to kill a buffalo, they made sure to use every part of that buffalo. Farmers doing the same shit, but when they do it, they're crazy assholes. And these people are voters, so the government's got to step in to try to make everybody happy. And what the government comes up with is rather than hosting rabbit drives, they're going to have a bounty and they're going to put it out on these rabbits. Depending on which county or which part of the country you were in at this point in time, it was like 3, 4, or 5 cents per rabbit that you killed. And just for the record, they are still killing the rabbits. They're not like catching them alive and turning them in. No, they're killing them and either cutting off their scalps or their ears and turning in the ears to get a nickel. To be completely intellectually honest, the government didn't invent bounty programs in the 1930s. Jackrabbit bounties existed prior to that into like the mid 1800s, and they were used at like a local level to try to control the population to prevent a boom from happening. But this is the turning point where the government tried to like shift away from rabbit drives completely because of the high visibility and people getting their feelings hurt.
Yeah, no, bounties for nuisance animals make sense.
And wanted people to pretty much exclusively use a bounty program. Hey, remember, this is the 1930s. This is the Great Depression. People are broke. So now, not only have you incentivized just the farmers to go out and handle the issue to save their farm, you've incentivized everybody that's starving and poor, which is everybody during the Great Depression, to go out and kill these rabbits. You know what a lot of those people aren't doing? They're not using all of the rabbit to the best of its capabilities. They don't really give a shit about animals as far as doing it as quickly and effectively as possible. So now they're going out, they're shooting rabbits. Maybe the rabbits are getting away. They're not getting a good kill shot. It's not a more humane option. But they don't know that because they probably don't understand guns either. They think that if a bullet touches you, it's like magic. You're instantly and painlessly dead, which is just not how it works, because if you don't get a good kill shot, that animal could roam around for days or the rest of its life and die from infection months later. Whereas a sharp blow to the back of the head is actually much safer because there's not a bunch of people roaming around shooting fucking guns everywhere, and it's actually more humane because it just kills the animal pretty much instantly and it's painless, which is why it's still literally the preferred method of killing a rabbit in the manual on how to process a rabbit to this day. You don't believe me? Fuck it, I'll pull it up. What do we got here? Oh, percussive blow to the head. Position the rabbit. Hold the rabbit by its hind legs. Use a heavy but easy to handle object. IG, a club or iron piping. Hit the rabbit on the top of the head just behind the ears. Make sure it's dead. The farmers have literally been doing this the correct, most humane way possible for over 100 years, but to these people that don't understand the issue, that operate on feelings instead of facts, it feels...
Dude, Florida has a python, or is it bullet python? I know they have like a python in Bounty. I think Georgia or Tennessee. I think parts of Texas and Louisiana as well. They have boar bounties. There's a lot of nuisance animals out there that we have bounties for.
More humane to have a bunch of random fucking people that are starving and poor roaming the countryside with guns, shooting at targets this big, traveling at 45 miles an hour is safer and more humane than a bunch of farmers, aka professionals, getting together, forming a phalanx, and killing the rabbits as humanely as possible. Okay, just so we're on the same page, the job was getting done for free and more effectively by the farmers, but the government wanted to make people feel better, so they stepped in with an alternative solution where it cost money, taxpayer money, and got the job done less efficiently and less humanely. Fucking great job. Terrific.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
And you guys are never going to believe this. It doesn't actually fucking work. Why? Because the government literally runs out of money. I found an account from a singular county that was paying a 5-cent bounty. They had to quit paying the bounty and call it off after they had 1 million rabbits turned in and they ran out of money. And I found multiple accounts of this all over the country. Once the governments ran out of money, the farmers were like, okay, well, the problem's not solved yet, and I'm not going to let this rabbit eat all the food so I can't feed my kids and let it kill off all my cattle. We're going to go solve the problem. And that's exactly what they did. They got the boys together, they grabbed their clubs, they set up a fence, and then they killed all the rabbits. And then the journalists started showing up, and then the animal rights activists that don't live in the area and don't understand the problem started hearing about it, and it hurt their feelings, so they got involved. They started criticizing and causing problems for the farmers, or trying to get them to quit, and the farmers said, okay, fuck it, fine. You don't want us to kill the rabbits, we'll catch them, and we'll mail them to your state, and they can fuck up all your shit. And that's exactly what they they did. They caught a fuck ton of rabbits and they tried to ship them to the other part of the country where jackrabbits didn't live so they could deal with the problem. But Animal Wildlife Services winded up putting a stop to it. And for the next 50 years, this becomes...
No, come on. No, I love that as a solution. You are so far removed from the problem and you're so... Here, we'll catch some and we'll ship them to you. Now they're actually your problem, and you tell me how long you're gonna deal with these things before you decide that a culling is necessary.
It's a pattern, right? The jackrabbit population explodes, the farmers go out, they do what they gotta do, a bunch of people that don't understand the issue, hear about the issue, get super strong feelings, get really butthurt about it. The farmers pretty much tell them to fuck off, they kill all the rabbits, then 2 weeks later, nobody actually cares because those people didn't actually care in the first place.
How cute does an animal have to be before you care if it dies to feed you?
Which brings us to the Great Idaho Bunny Bash of 1981. Okay, it's 1981. As far as the issue goes, basically nothing has changed. The jackrabbit population booms every 10 years or so. The farmers got to go out, handle the issue to protect their crops. The only thing that has really changed is now we have television and news. Information now travels much further, much faster, and there's video footage of it. That and capitalism has raised the standard of human living so high that not only can one person make a living bitching about how other people make a living, they can actually go out and found a multi-million-dollar organization, and they can hire a bunch of other people, and they can band together and produce nothing for society, and then turn around and spend all of their life bitching about how the people that do produce shit for society are doing their job. So in Mud Lake, Idaho in 1981, when there was a jackrabbit population boom and they were eating all the farmers' crops, the farmers who are, 40, 50, 60 years old and have already done this 4, 5, 6 times over the course of their life go, it's time to do the thing again, that thing that I've done my entire life and my dad did his entire life and my granddad did his entire life. Call up the boys, bring out the baseball bats and the fence, we got to get rid of these rabbits. So they put out the call in the newspapers. Hey, if you want to help get rid of all these rabbits and save our farms, show up at Cletus's farm on Saturday at, whatever time. But remember, news now travels faster and further, so people from out of the community are hearing about this. You've got people coming from hours away, from cities, to come out and help with this rabbit drive and kill these rabbits, and some people are just showing up to watch. Okay, and I know what some people are thinking. Why on earth would you do that? Who would want to go watch farmers kill a bunch of innocent little bunny rabbits? Pretty much everybody, man. This is the 1980s, okay? They didn't grow up with the internet. They didn't have YouTube. They've got TV, and it only has like 10 channels. These people didn't grow.
My Papa Elfpire used to tell me about video series called God, what was it called? I think it was something called Faces of Death or something. But no, during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they didn't have the internet. The people liked violence. People liked witnessing violence.
Up watching Live Leak. So when they hear that a bunch of farmers are grabbing baseball bats and having a Battle of Thermopylae reenactment against some jackrabbits, fuck yeah, they want to go watch. So that's what happens. The farmers put out the call and hundreds of people show up. They got 400 or 500 people showing up with golf clubs and baseball bats to actually help them. And then they've got hundreds of people standing off to the sidelines just being spectators. People are bringing their kids. They're having fucking barbecues and picnics off to the side. It becomes an event. Then the animal rights groups hear about it and they show up.
Wait.
Nope.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause.
Oh, man.
It is because I hate him.
In addition to the people that just want to spectate and the people that want to help out, other people from all over the country hear about this. There's a mink farmer in Iowa that gets a hold of these farmers.
Ava, ask your dad if he remembers Rescue 911. Sure, when I next see him.
And is like, hey, I'll buy the carcasses for 15 cents a carcass and I'll feed them to my minks. There's also a couple of Nigerian businessmen that get a hold of the farmers and they're like, hey, we'll pay you, 15 cents per rabbit and then you can process the meat and we'll refrigerate it and ship it back home to Nigeria to feed people. To which the farmers are like, cool, and then we're gonna take all the money we make from killing these rabbits, which is something we already have to do, and then we're gonna give it back to our community to fund our community projects. They're literally making the best out of a bad situation. And just to be clear, it's not like they get together one time and kill off hundreds of thousands of rabbits. This is like a process that takes a little bit of time, so it takes place multiple events over the course of weeks or months. Well, after the first event, all these animal rights groups leap into action and basically launch a massive PR campaign trying to paint the farmers as these genocidal maniacs. They immediately rebrand what has been known as a rabbit drive for hundreds of years as The Great Idaho Bunny Bash. They intentionally choose the word bunny because it's the cutest, nicest, most sensitive word that you could possibly apply to a jackrabbit, and even then, the word bunny doesn't really fit to jackrabbit. They then file an injunction against the farmers, trying to prevent them from killing the rabbits. They go to court. The local judge is basically like, I mean, these rabbits have to go. Like, it has to happen. What do you want him to do about it? And eventually the animal rights group was like, well, fine, but we need to find a more humane way to kill the rabbits. And the court and the farmers both are like, okay, yeah, game. I don't want the rabbits to suffer.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy this. I just need them dead so they don't eat my crops. If you have a more humane way of doing this, I'm all ears. What ideas do you got? And if you don't believe me, I actually have some quotes. This is from a farmer by the name of Orville Twitchell. He's one of the guys that's kind of spearheading these rabbit drives. And fair warning, he actually literally looks like Elmer Fudd, so I don't think that's helping him very much.
I fucking can't. I can't. The dude responsible for hunting Bugs Bunny during rabbit season. Oh my god. Oh my, he looks like Elmer Fudd.
But looks aside, he really is just a farmer trying to save his crops that wants to kill these rabbits as humanely as possible. I actually found some quotes from him where he said, and I quote, "I can still hear the squeals, but I had to get over the feeling because we did what we had to do. You're swinging a club dressed in layers in below freezing temperatures, and it didn't end until they were all dead, sometimes 30 to 45 minutes to dispatch an entire pen. No question, it was physically exhausting. Was it gruesome? Yes. Was it necessary? Yes." So the farmers genuinely are open to any ideas of how to do this more humanely and more effectively. The animal rights groups then immediately recommend poisoning them with strychnine.
What?
To which the farmers are like, fucking no.
What the absolute fucking hell? That ruins them. Oh my god, you fucking idiots. God, animal activists.
That's a horrible idea for more.
Thank you so much for the 5. Is there a chance of Papa Elfpire to show up on stream so we can talk to him? And he can tell us stories of young Eva? Absolutely not. That's too much. That's too much. He doesn't have like today's generation's OPSEC when it comes to operating on the internet. I would have to learn him quite a bit in terms of what he can and can't say and how he has to phrase stories, so as the more autistic in my audience aren't able to easily dox me.
Multiple reasons. One, if I'm putting poison out in the wilderness, I have no idea what's going to eat it, but I do know it's not just going to be jackrabbits. My dogs, my cattle, my horses, coyotes, literally any other animal can walk up and eat this poison, and I'm not trying to kill them. Secondly, if I poison them, I can't sell them for starving kids in Africa to eat or these minks up in Iowa, so the carcasses are going to waste. That's not good. And thirdly, strychnine is definitely not more humane than a sharp blow to the back of the head. When you poison an animal with strychnine, first it gets muscle aches, and then it starts having seizures that are induced by light, motion, and sound, and it basically dies of exhaustion from having too many seizures over the course of hours or days. That's definitely not more humane than me walking up and bonking a rabbit on the head. That's fucked up. We're not doing that. In a shocking turn of events, it's actually the farmers in court fighting on behalf of what's best for the rabbits and not the animal rights groups. It's almost like they don't actually care and they're just virtue signaling to feel good. The animal rights groups, realizing that they just got made to look like assholes, come back with a backup idea. They come into court and they're like, hear me out. Gas chambers. I'm not kidding.
No. No, we can. No. No, the animal rights activists went to gassing the sucking jackrabbits. This is not the 1940s, and we are not Germany. And, you know, we know what group the jackrabbits are in that situation. But are you actually fucking kidding me?
Likes the Jews. Yes, like the Jews. Oh.
To which the farmers are like, rabbit concentration camps. You want to recreate rabbit Auschwitz. That's what you guys want. You know what? Fuck it. Fine. We'll give it a shot. So at their next rabbit drive, rather than putting up a fence and a pin and driving the rabbits into the fence and then clubbing them, they dug a giant fucking hole and drove the rabbits into the hole, threw a tent over the top, and filled it with carbon monoxide. It didn't really work. It didn't kill all the rabbits. The rabbits that did die actually died from being crushed by the weight of all the other rabbits on top of them, and it was just way less humane, so they abandoned that idea.
God.
This is now garnering national attention. Everybody's watching, so the governor gets involved, and the governor and the farmers go to the head veterinarian of Idaho and ask him what is the most humane way to get rid of these rabbits. And the head veterinarian says a sharp blow to the back of the head, just like the fucking textbook says.
Yep.
Thank you.
So that's it. Case closed. The local judge rules in favor of the farmers. They go back to hosting their rabbit drives, or as the newspapers claimed, make the fur fly again. At which point, the animal rights activists learn something, they realize their mistake, and they move on with their lives. No, I'm just kidding. They actually go on a massive PR campaign to slander these farmers. The farmers wind up getting thousands of hate mail letters and protesters showing up, and the animal rights groups actually had people dress up as people that were going to help with the rabbit drives and go into the pens and try to fuck with them. They then proceeded to go to the media and paint the entire affair as horrifically as humanly possible. According to intel from their spies, people were playing bunny baseball and there were little kids inside the pens killing rabbits. First of all, yeah, kids are involved. I know that's shocking to some people, but farm kids do farm shit, and this is...
Yeah, farm kids are a different breed, trust me. Like, we would kill your average city boy or city girl. Like, come at me.
It's farm shit. It's a way of life for these people. That's not a big deal. Secondly, trying to tell the entire country that they're playing bunny baseball like they're turning it into some sick game is fucking disgusting, okay? If they had hundreds of volunteers showing up that weren't farmers, is there a possibility that one asshole grabbed a rabbit, tossed it in the air and said, "Hey, Jimmy, catch," and Jimmy fucking Babe Ruth that motherfucker? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry. I had to sit my mic down for a second. We gotta go back.
Of volunteers showing up that weren't farmers, is there a possibility that one asshole grabbed a rabbit, tossed it in the air and said, "Hey, Jimmy, catch," and Jimmy fucking Babe Ruth that motherfucker? Yeah, absolutely. That probably happened. But calling that bunny baseball like it's an organized sporting event, like they're literally got the bases set up and they're fucking underhanding jackrabbits to a 12-year-old, and if he strikes out 3 times, they strap it to a tee and let him fucking clock it so he can run the bases and turn it into a game, absolutely didn't happen. But that's just me operating off of common sense and growing up around farmers my entire life and knowing that these people, A, wouldn't do that, and B, wouldn't allow it to happen in their proximity. That's not enough. I need actual evidence. So I went back and I scoured through newspapers at the time, and guess what I found out? After the animal rights groups started showing up en masse as protesters, you know who else showed up? The sheriff's department. And you want to know what the sheriff's department did? They, A, kept the peace, but before every rabbit drive, they told the crowd of volunteers, "We're watching, and if we see any of you doing anything cruel to these animals, we will charge you with a misdemeanor for animal cruelty." Guess how many citations got issued? Fucking 0. The entire thing was just a massive propaganda campaign to paint these farmers like they're psychotic assholes when they're the exact opposite. And unfortunately, it's pretty effective, at least in the court of public opinion, and the farmers didn't really do themselves any favors because they don't have any PR training. They're 40, 50, 60-year-old farmers out in Idaho. They've got journalists and cameras in their face, and when they're asked a question, they say the truth and they say how they feel. Orville Twitchell, the guy from court that's like spearheading this entire thing, when he got interviewed by the journalists and they're like, "How can you have kids out here doing this? Blah, 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 blah." Them not understanding, like, farm kids do farm stuff. They help me on the farm. This is their job too. They're gonna have to do this when they get older. It's been a way of life for generations. They don't get that. So Orville Twitchell just said the truth. He said, and I quote, "I and 3/4 of the rest of the people in the West would rather see kids in that sagebrush, even if they are beating jackrabbits, than have them sitting in front of the boob tube watching sex movies or in Idaho Falls drinking beer and smoking pot."
Amen. 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 Amen.
So they're kind of inadvertently playing into the stereotypes, which allows these people to spin the entire thing and basically rewrite history. Like, looking through all this, I was finding academic papers about the history of rabbit drives and how fucked up they were. And just, the academic papers are insane. You know what? I'm actually going to read you part of the abstract from one of these academic papers so you can see how fucking stupid these people are. Quote, "Great Plains responded to eternal threats from the environment by reasserting masculine domination of nature. In contrast to wealthy big game hunters who primarily used their writing to project their manhood, it was through photographs that drives were practiced, shared, and understood. The camera served to eternally fix the male participants as victors in a staged battle between man and beast."
But wait!
What does that mean?
Indeed, we cannot understand the rabbit drive without understanding its visuality, seeing it as a self-constructed act of masculine theater that was always intended to be observed. In doing so, the rabbit drive shows how seeming crises in the environment have been creatively repositioned as opportunities to, in fact, protect, reinforce, and exalt masculine control over nature and society.
When was this made? That was horrible. That was absolutely
Yeah,
horrible.
dickhead, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Back in the 1800s when farmers were having their entire livelihoods fucking destroyed, so they got together and said, guys, what are we gonna do about this? And one of them said, I think we have to kill all these rabbits. I guarantee you another farmer said, oh my God, Cletus, what a great idea. And we should take pictures and tell everybody about it. That way we can reassert our masculine domination over society and our wives remember who the fucking bosses are. Because apparently there's nothing more manly than killing a fucking rabbit.
It's false. No way. Not this time. No.
If there's one thing that I've learned about farmers growing up around them my entire life is that they're super concerned with like big, abstract societal ideas. They're definitely not just normal people that are trying to get by and raise kids and have a family and go to church and be a productive member of society and feed the world. That's definitely not what they're up to. They're secretly getting together and plotting, having maniacal plans on how they can exercise their toxic masculine domination over society via killing bunny rabbits. That's exactly what the farmers are fucking up to.
I gotta know though. Like, I gotta know what year was that academic paper published? Because I would love to know. Because I want to know how like, was that a 1980s or 90s paper? Or was that like more recent? Like, because that sounded more recent, but who knows when it comes to academic papers?
And you morons wonder why people are losing respect for academia when you publish stupid bullshit like this. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked and pissed off. Anyways, the Idaho farmers now have the green light from the local court to continue doing what they're doing, so that's exactly what they do. They keep hosting rabbit drives, they keep killing the rabbits, they keep saving their farms. Meanwhile, the animal rights groups continue to harass them and fuck with them and slander them all over the media, and then they take them to court again on an appeal, and they appeal them all the way up to the Supreme Court of Idaho. In the Supreme Court case, it comes out that they were having spies infiltrate as volunteers, gathering intel, and then they used all this supposed intel to basically slander the farmers and paint the whole thing as some barbaric event. They're telling the judge, like, they're playing bunny baseball and they're having children do this, blah, 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 blah. To which the Supreme Court is like, are you guys playing bunny baseball? And the farmers are like, no. Okay, well, don't. And they're like, cool, okay. Are you having kids do this? To which the farmers were like, I mean, I'm not checking driver's licenses for ages. If some farmer or volunteer wants to bring their child out here to do this, they're more than welcome to do it. I'm not going to stop them. And the judge is like, okay, well, let's just call it 12 years old. You got to be 12 to participate. And the farmers are like, you got it. That's fine. From here, farmers win. They get the green light to continue. They continue the rabbit drives until they've solved the problem, and then the issue disappears into history. And I know what you're thinking. 1981 was like 40 some odd years ago. How come there hasn't been another major jackrabbit population boom? In addition to that, DNR and wildlife services are much more advanced in understanding about how ecosystems work, and they regulate the killing of predators of jackrabbits much more strictly. And all of this comes to allow a more natural control of the jackrabbit population. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee that a jackrabbit population boom will never happen again. And if it does, I'm absolutely positive the farmers will do whatever has to get done. And I'm also, unfortunately, absolutely positive that the animal rights groups and the academics will be right there talking shit and rewriting history the entire time. And that is the story of the Great Idaho Bunny Bash of 1981, aka a rabbit drive, something that had been happening on this continent for thousands of years, literally predating written history, that animal rights groups and academics then utilized to slander hardworking farmers that were doing nothing more than simply trying to get by. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. Links to both of those over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Not bad. Not a bad little, history lesson. But yeah, no, jackrabbits are they're a scourge. It's crazy to me that, like, okay, whatever. Let's see here. We have a couple more, a little bit more of a, Okay, we've been going for a hot minute, and I think I'm actually going to remove this one. We're going to have that one as something to react to next week. And so the final video that we're going to be reacting to today is some daily dose of internet, guys. And this one's entitled Roads in Argentina Are Crazy.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. These roads in Argentina aren't for the weak.
Hey, yo! Bro, we going into oncoming traffic. Hey, yo, what are you doing,
Yo, whoa, yo, what the fuck? Oh, wait a minute, look at that.
Bro, what was that, bro? Yo, what was that? That's how it is?
You can just go on other roads? Did that dolphin? That dolphin just threw a fish at you. I swear, yeah, that was a dolphin. We just watched a dolphin throw a fish at that guy. I've never seen that in my life. Look at that. Yeah, what the? Who do you think you are?
just threw a fish at me.
Yeah, what the hell?
You gonna take it off? Do you want me to? How do I take it? Just like that.
I guess it was their time.
Right here, just a bone. Easy does it. Just a bone. Not the bone. No, 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 no.
Something tells me they're siblings.
What is it? Oh. Get your shit out of you, freaking Gillian. Yeah, you working, fill my hole, I fill your hole.
Good try.
She's gonna nail you. Yep, knew that was gonna happen.
I'm passing the phone to someone who won't stop putting stuff in his mouth.
Oh, that was awfully close. A little closer than I would. Oh shit. Holy crap!
Someone put a rainbow exhaust tip on a Toyota Camry XLE. Car mods are getting way out of hand these days. It's like actually ridiculous. I mean, seriously, you can't just buy a regular car and then heavily modify it and then expect people to think it's cool.
I wonder who's to blame for this mess.
Oh man, there's a kid. Yeah, there he is. Oh well, this is gonna end badly. And there it is. Oh jeez.
Wait, hold on. Guys, don't mind Tony. Tony's making a cake.
And
Wrong
side.
It said bottom and sides of the pan. It says bottom and sides of the pan. What is that?
Yeah, like the bottom from the inside.
Is this not the bottom?
Buddy.
I'm confused.
Oh, that's windy. Alright, so... What was it? Oh my god! Man, you are lucky. Oh my...
There was a heat wave in Paris, and this guy wanted to show how hot it was.
Si je mets un œuf là. Regardez bien.
Alright, well, that could... Oh, wow.
Voilà.
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
1. Oh, maybe. Oh. Hold it, Deborah. Is it not gonna pop?
It's not popping.
Gender reveal parties are so exhausting. Oh, there we go. Mazel tov, you're having a boy.
Солнце золотого.
Is it? Oh my god! Dude, he won. He just won. He let look at this setup. Oh, God, he just got freaking. He's on the ground there. He's done, man. Look at this form, man. Like, he had no freaking chance. Look at how high he got. Look at this right there and just what the oh my god. Oh my god, you know what? He's still in the fight, that's amazing.
Boys.
There's only glasses.
This guy managed to capture what happens when you're on a boat when an earthquake.
Okay, an earthquake on this. Those are all pilings. You're going to see some weird waves, and you're going to see all these pilings shake suddenly. I have been on a boat during an earthquake.
Kids.
Yeah, there goes. You guys chose the wrong door. That's hilarious.
Maybe come.
Oh my god.
Come here, May.
This is the smallest park in the United States.
You missed the surprise.
No end for look at this
part. Oh my, what?
That's hilarious. Bro, there's no way. How passed out are you for that? Guys, how are you doing this?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Time in my life.
Okay. What we got? You forgot to pay the electric bill. Oh no.
I think her tanning session got a bit out of hand.
Hi guys, so I got a spray tan today. Is it normal to look like this? Dude, I went in.
Errol. No. Oh, what have you done? What have you done to yourself?
Asked for a light bronze. She said, yeah, I got you, girl. I'll get you right. I said, bet. So then I come out of the machine. I look at my face and I look like this.
On daddy say.
He's gonna hit you.
On Theo say. On.
It's a little weird. Something bad's gonna happen here. Oh. Oh, okay.
A pantry.
The pantry.
Ah, a pantry.
Oh my god, there's pans in the tree. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh, come on.
Now, okay. Look, have I never played golf? No, I played golf once. Miniature golf I played a lot, but golf, like full golf, I've only played once. But if this is the sand trap that I'm looking at, I feel like it might be prudent to perhaps like backtrack just a little bit, like knock it back so you can have a better chance of knocking it out, because there's no way you're getting it out.
Jump するんかなこれ。
Yep. Yep. What are you doing? Oh my. Did he just move his car? Holy shit, dude.
This guy is the definition of efficiency.
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. My gosh, look at that.
Yo, what does the horseshoe with the exclamation mean? Does that mean I'm running out of horsepower?
No, no water food. She went through the wall. Yo, it's Mario Kart.
This lady took a pregnancy test and the result wasn't exactly clear.
Megan, what did you do? You noticed. And what did it say?
That's...
Clear.
Megan, what?
That looks like a digital thermometer. It does not look like a pregnancy test. I might be wrong, but doesn't that look like a digital thermometer?
You do? You noticed? And what did it say? Give me the question mark.
That's a digital thermometer. Yeah, only a digital thermometer. What? There's no... Oh yeah, the electronic screen? The electronic screen that you have to pee on? You dummy! This is not a pregnancy test. This is a digital thermometer that she has put partially into the wrapper of a pregnancy test. This has rage baited me because it is fake. It is fake and, dare I say, slightly gay.
3. Are you seriously gonna do that? I don't do that every time. Woo! I got excited. Yeah! I
So they all make it?
This is my favorite clip from this episode. This face paint artist created this really cool effect by using a mix of water resistant and regular paint.
Yo, that's cool as hell.
них клює? Бо мені здається, що всю рибу забрав ось цей чувак.
Yo, how the
You can see the moment they realize their mistake.
Feel like you got a scammer. Bro, there's no note. And then as soon as I feel my, they cut me right off.
What's your question?
Why we got the non-scented dry sheets?
What's in your hands, babe?
Non-scented.
The dry sheets. Up here with the dry stuff, washing stuff.
What is that?
No. Those are tissues. Those are just Angel Soft tissues. Those aren't dryer sheets.
Say.
Professional series. 50 ply sheets per carton, white. Angel Soft dryer sheets.
That does not say dry sheets.
What is this?
Babe.
What? What does it say?
This is tissue.
It's just normal tissue paper.
Are you serious?
Who put it over the washing machine? Why is tissue over the washing machine?
Now that's a good question. That's a good. I can understand if it was over there and it was like where the dryer sheet should be. I understand that, but when she asked you to read that, you read things that weren't there, and I'm a little confused.
This goat is really clingy.
Get down. Oh, freaking goat. Yeah, he's gonna come back up. Yeah, there he goes. Freaking, I hate goats.
Get down.
I love
Come
goats,
eat.
but I hate goats.
Lady.
I guess this chicken works for a living.
Oh, okay, I see. Got him!
This plumber was using a camera to find a leak in the drain when he found something else instead.
I mean, about 12 meters. Wait.
There's a cat in there.
What the Hey!
There's no jelly
Bro,
in
what
that
the
packet.
hell? What happened to my jelly?
This giant alligator
That's a good
decided to
question. Oh my
interrupt their
God.
round of golf.
Okay, I feel like I'm losing my mind. My shrimp cocktail is glowing in the dark. Like blue.
What?
What the actual? It's me and my glow in the dark shrimp.
Am I wrong, or do some shrimp have bioluminescent properties?
Can a biologist, a marine biologist?
Thank you, Nerdy Tech's an accountant for the 5. The chicken was a better coder than most working at Microsoft.
Just please explain this to me.
I've never seen a caterpillar standing up like this before.
Yo, what the fuck? He's charging his aura. Bro, you're doing an awful lot. That's what you get.
Yep, just over 16 foot, Teal. Okay, thank you.
When burning certain materials, it can create strings like this that clump together and float in the heat.
What in the hell?
This is how bad the heat wave is in London right now. We come into the kitchen and there's water like all over the counter. It's going back. Mind you, I've been home all day long. I'm like, oh, I don't know, we took a shower. Maybe there's a pipe leaking somewhere, okay?
Yeah,
I grab a tissue to wipe the water off the counter. Guess what this looks?
Oh no.
It's the butter. This evening, the butter has melted.
The question is, does he have a big head or is it a big hat?
Oh my god. Bro.
Hi, Steve. I love
What's up,
you.
kitty? I'm not gonna lie. That looks really good, and I would love to eat something like that at the theaters. But at the same time, like, there are theaters that you can go to where you can order steak and shit like that.
I wonder what they're arguing about.
Put it on TikTok.
That's a damn sexy air bubble. Air ring, whatever. Wow, that's a really good one.
These Scotland soccer fans adopted this robot as one of their own.
He's over.
This restroom feels a little bit risky.
Yeah, I'm not a... Oh, that is... I don't know about that.
Other than the barn owl, most other owls don't have this feature. When you consider the fact that
I finally cracked the code! That's how you do it, sir! I've always wondered. Oh, he went the same. Oh!
Oh, that was cool. I mean, that's pretty cool to figure out how they do that.
Oh, and he spit. Oh, boss! Big up you, boss!
It's not quite her tempo.
I think
that's terrifying.
This one's broken.
Yeah,
is my green onion too big? Yes or no?
Bro.
I mean, it looks slightly bigger than the other two.
So my mum told me that she'd adopted a pet seagull. Thought she was joking. Turns out she wasn't.
What the fuck?
His name's Dave.
That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed.
Wow.
And I'll see you guys again very, very
Looks like
soon.
Dave was having a good
Later.
time. And there we go, chat. That has all the ones that we have the time to react to today. Thank you so much to everyone who has spent the last 2 hours and 11 minutes reacting to content with me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell as hard as you possibly can. And we will, of course, see you all on the next one. We are actually going to be on Rumble in like 45 minutes, watching some Invincible with Mama Oko. bitchy.